والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين وعلى آله وصحابته أجمعين. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. سبحانك لا فهمنا إلا ما فهمتنا إنك أنت الجواد الكريم. وقل ربي زدني علما. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. يسألونك ماذا ينفقون قل ما أنفقتم من خير فللوالدين والأقربين واليتامى والمساكين وابن السبيل وما تفعلوا من خير فإن الله به عليم. صدق الله مولانا العظيم. So in these verses, in this verse actually, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions in detail, based on the principle or based on the imperative that had been mentioned previously, such as Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu udkhulu fis silmi kafa, O you people of Iman, enter into truce, into peace, into submission and subjugation to the orders of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in total. So that's a general statement, a general imperative. So now, the tafsil of that, or the details of that entering into submission in a detailed fashion, is now being explained. Yasalunaka, they ask you. Who asks you? The companions, radiallahu ta'ala anhum. They ask Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam, and they were also forbidden to ask unnecessary questions, which is also instructions to us. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu la tasalu an ashya'in tubda lakum tasukum. Don't ask about things that if they're revealed to you, they might be very difficult for you. They might be detrimental for you, in fact. So asking unnecessary questions, as we've talked about earlier, is not the way or the habit or the character of the people of Iman. They ask questions when it's necessary. And there's only, less than 20 places in the Quran where this is actually mentioned, where they ask very pertinent, pressing, important, and relevant questions. So they ask, this is a very relevant question, ماذا ينفقون? And we've been listening to this all last night. Where do we spend? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala answers this. So this is a question which is directed to Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam, like a fatwa, istifta, if you will. And the answer is being given directly by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam. Sometimes it's yasalunaka, sometimes yastaftunak. They ask you the fatwa. That's what a fatwa. Fatwa is the answer to a question that is being asked. So they asked, what do we spend? On who do we spend? قُلْ مَا أَنفَقْتُم مِّن خَيْرٍ. So whatever you spend in terms of good, and how much, that will come in an ayat very soon, inshallah ta'ala. So whatever you're spending of good in khair, spend it on your parents. Number one, on your parents. Wal aqrabin. Number two, your relatives. Wal yatama. Number three, the orphans. Number 5, masakin. We talked about them earlier. The people who either they have nothing or they have something, but it's not sufficient for their needs. Wabn sabil, the traveler, the wayfarer who has now, he's away from his place, he's away from his resources, and he's in need in that particular situation. وَمَا تَفْعَلُوا مِنْ خَيْرٍ فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ بِعَلِيمٍ. And whatever you do of good, even an iota thereof, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is very aware of that and fully cognizant, and He will fully reward accordingly. And there's details here that we want to talk about, but because I think everybody's tired, including the one reading from last night, inshallah, so we'll go into these details bi'idhnillahi ta'ala tomorrow. Wa bihi at-tawfiq wa akhir da'wana an alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta wa nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Wassalamu alaykum.